So if you already know how to play Samira but still want to learn more and improve more, this video will be perfect for you. I'm going to be mentioning like random tips and tricks about Samira that I think aren't like very obvious and that you wouldn't see in most Samira guides. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. We are very close to 900 subscribers, so I would really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, let's start with the first one. The first thing I want to talk about is that Samira is a great utility champ into certain team comps, and you kind of just need to realize that. What do I mean with that? Like, for example, if you're playing into an Ornn or a Nami or a Renata, Wing a Renata ult or an Ornn ult is huge. That can like legit already win you the fight. Because I'm not a fan of using W defensively most of the time. I only, like in team fights, I would W like an Ashe ult, a Seraphine ult, Renata ult, but I'm not gonna W a random Ezreal WQ that's like flying at me, unless it's gonna kill me. So every fight, every matchup, every lane, you kind of have to figure out when should you use your W. If there's a team fight going on and there's someone throwing a skill shot at you, but they still have an Ornn in the back who hasn't ulted, probably because he's waiting for your W, you could be like, oh okay, well then I'm just gonna hold my W and try and fight without it for a while. Very often people like that Ornn will then be, okay, well that's weird, Samira's not using the W, I guess I'm just gonna ult then because I need to do something, and then they press it, boom, into the W. That's weird, they can't play the game. But there have for sure been like situations where I didn't W to like, I don't know, save my teammate from a Caitlyn Q, just so I could W a Renata ult that's also coming my way, so I could just win the teamfight on my own. It sounds weird, but that's kinda how you have to look at the game. On that same topic, because I mentioned it, this is also really important. Like I said, often when you hold W, other champions will hold their abilities that you can W, which usually is pretty good. For example, like I said, if there's an Ornn and he's not ulting because you didn't W yet, that's really good for your team. They don't have an Ornn ult. Okay, great. Because you can kind of play the game anyway, even without W. I understand that it's often used as a stack builder, of course, and it's fine if you do use it. But keep in mind that just having the W up and not using them in front of other people may make it so that other champions don't use their abilities, which indirectly can already be winning you the fight. Or you're winning the fight by doing nothing. Yeah, while you're still just building stacks with Q and auto attacks. So it's like, you're still playing the game, they're probably not using like an Ornn ult or a Renata ult because of you. I mean, what do you think wins out? Yeah, probably you. Okay, the next point is going to be a bit hard to explain, but I'll do my best. This is going to be about pre-Wing stun, so you can W a projectile. And what do I mean with that? Imagine you are here on your own, you're the Samira, you're not that strong. I mean, I'm so strong here I can 1v3 anyway, I'm pretty sure. But imagine I don't have the Janna here, imagine this guy TPing, it's a TF, but it works, but he's a bit late. But imagine this guy is already here with a stun. Gold card out, he's ready to stun you. This guy might be like a really fat carry, he's about to one-shot you if you get stunned. So you only have one option here, and it's to press W. Either you don't do anything and you get stunned and you just hope that whoever TPs or is here just doesn't do anything, but usually people will overlap the stun. So you're gonna get hit by a Jax E, you're gonna get it followed up by a gold card, and then you're stunned for like 4 seconds and there's nothing you can do. So your only option here is to like press W right now before you're stunned, and then kind of hope that they W gold card into you. And you're probably thinking like, okay, but what if he just doesn't use it? And you're not wrong. This is something you want to use only when it's like you're only out. If you are guaranteed dead to this gold card, or let's say it's like a Thresh hook and you can just follow up the hook, or like any other champ, a Sejuani ult, your only option to survive might sometimes be that you have to pre-W the stun. You can pre-W before the Jax E hits you, it will be up in the air while you're stunned, and then sometimes, if you're lucky, it happens pretty often though, I'm not gonna lie, but they will just gold card into it because they think you're stunned, whatever, and then you don't actually get like double stunned, you don't get overlapped. I win this anyway because I'm super strong. Bomba. But yeah, like I said, only use it when it's your only chance, because it's your only play in a scenario where you can't afford to get double stunned. If they're far away, you have time to like tank the stun and then W, then of course you should do that, but sometimes, rarely, this will be your only option. On the same topic, you can also pre-buffer a Q when you're about to get stunned. So for example here, I'm gonna get Jax Eat. So what you want to do is just go for a Q. Why this is important is because, I mean, obviously you can't go for an auto here because you can't attack through the wind strike, whatever it's called, the counter strike, sorry. But your Q will always go through even if you're stunned. So Don't be scared about like queuing and then thinking, oh, it might get cancelled by a stun. No, it will always go through, which is really good because then when you have downtime, let's say you already did an auto attack, you just throw out a Q, and even if it stuns you, it doesn't really matter. Like, it will guaranteed hit anyway. And why this is good, because now that you're in the stun, your Q cooldown is already ticking. So when you're out of the stun, your Q will probably be up again. Which it is. Like, I'm stunned, I can move again, my Q is up again. And to do the max damage in like a 1v1 or in a fight, it's very important to get that Q cooldown ticking already so you can Q again after the stun. Yeah. This is another situational tip. This is mostly versus stealth champions. Versus stealth champions, it's really important to try and do your combo before they go in stealth. I understand you can't control it when they go stealth, but doing the fast Samira combo versus something like a Kha'Zix is really important. You can't afford to do a slow combo into a Kha'Zix because first of all, when they go stealth, you can't trade with them because you can't even go for an auto attack. But if you don't have enough ult stacks before they go in stealth, you literally cannot ult. Like, if you didn't know on Samira, I have ult right now, but if you don't have vision on the target, you cannot ult. I'm pressing it right now, doesn't work. You need vision. But if you get enough combo points before they go stealth, you press it, and then they go stealth, it doesn't matter, it will just keep hitting them throughout the stealth. This is how you play matchups like Akali, how you fight champions like Kha'Zix, like you gotta get the ult off before they go into stealth. Otherwise you kinda just lose. I will throw this in here, this is not really that advanced, but a lot of people always tell me that they don't know this. You can E over any enemy structure in the game. You can E over this turret if someone is low mid lane and you want to dive them and you can't reach. You could use the turret to get closer onto them. It's the same with inhibitors. Yeah, I destroyed the towers for you guys so you can just see. But to E over this perfectly, you have to get kind of close to it. If you're too far away, it would just be this. It kind of just depends. Like, that won't go over. This probably will, yeah. This is also really good when you just need to take objectives fast. There might be people coming to you and you need to take the inhibitor fast, obviously for the attack speed boost. Just press E on it and start hitting it. You can even do it on the Nexus. You obviously can't go over the Nexus, it's way too big, but it can give you an attack speed boost. And I just mentioned real quick, you can also just E over walls. I'm sure you noticed already, but in case you didn't, you can use pretty much anything to get over a wall. Yeah. Okay, the next point is going to be really important. You will lose out a lot of kills if you don't notice, so this will be about like losing distance when chasing someone. And the thing about Samira, when you're chasing someone and you Q, you obviously stand still, you're in animation, so you lose distance. Always keep that in mind when you're chasing someone, because every Q you do and every like animation you do will make you lose distance. So sometimes when you're chasing a target, you don't even really want to be queuing or auto-attacking, you either do like just one, because if you're doing both, you're double stuck in animation and then you're just losing too much distance. If you don't understand what I mean by that, like if you're chasing a guy and you're just queuing him, or you're chasing him and you're just auto-attacking, you would stick onto him way better than if you're doing a Q auto into a Q and an auto. Like there's way too much downtime when you're like really trying to stick onto someone. That wasn't really what I wanted to discuss, but that is important to know as well, that sometimes you don't actually go for Qs, you just auto attack them, otherwise they get out of range. But the big thing is when you Q on Samira and they're like on the edge of it. So let's say this target is here and you're doing this and he's running and he might be faster than you. What could happen is you whip out your sword, the animation starts, and because you're standing still in animation, they will just walk out of the Q range. So you pretty much just Q'd the air, you didn't hit anything. So even in spots like that, it is better to just auto attack. Or if he's like close to dying and you just need one Q and auto attack, what you could do is just stand still, let him walk away, and then go for a ranged Q to guaranteed like hit it. So you're giving them distance to make sure you get a ranged Q compared to a melee Q that you might miss. It sounds complicated, but if you're a Samira main or you play a lot of Samira, you will probably have experienced this multiple times where you do like a little range Q and it just misses because they're outrunning it. And you could lose a kill or two because of that. So yeah, keep in mind that can happen and sometimes be like, oh, that could happen. Maybe I just do a little step back here and go for a ranged auto attack or range Q instead. The next thing I'm going to be talking about is animation baiting. If you are playing at a decent elo, you probably know what this means. But very often champions will bait an animation by making you think they're doing something when they're not really. For example, let's say I'm a Twisted Fate and I'm being chased. Imagine this is you, you're the Samira, you're chasing a Twisted Fate, and he has a gold card. What they will often do is just turn back for like a slight second while sprinting, and then just keep walking to like bait you into doing a W, even though they're not technically throwing the card yet. And this is always something to keep in mind. Just because they're doing an animation doesn't mean that they're necessarily going to throw the spell you want them to throw. You can do the same with just an auto attack. You can do it like that, and it makes sense because if you're running and you're TF and you go to gold card and this is you, he's gonna be like, what? Like, of course you're gonna throw it here. But then he baits a W, he holds the gold card, and then he throws it after the W. So try and really predict the W as late as you can do it, if that makes sense. There's no danger of it flying through the air. Like, it's only dangerous if it hits you. So if you do have some freedom to actually look if they're doing the correct animation, do look out for that. It can be the same with flash. I like doing some blitzcrank myself when they have a gold card and they will flash towards you and then they just don't do anything. Now you're maybe tempted to like, oh, he flashes on me, he has a W in his hand, I need a W. But don't press W until you actually see the gold card flying towards you, or you're just gonna die. And you probably think that maybe this doesn't like apply to your games, but trust me, this will happen one time or more often not. In my games it happens quite often, where people do like a certain animation bait. The most common one is the one I said, where they're just running away and do like a little turn back to like make you W and then they just run away after. So basically, don't get baited by animations. Some people will trick you like this. Some people will flash and not actually do anything until you've thrown your W out there. So keep that in the back of your mind, I guess, that could happen. Alright, if you enjoyed the video or thought it was helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. It's a bit hard to come up with advanced stuff and put myself in a mindset where what might like be obvious to me, but not to like new-ish Samira players. I think all the info was pretty decent and might be stuff that a lot of people don't know. So yeah, thank you guys for watching and Merry Christmas, even though it's not Christmas yet.